My name is Mohammed Faid. Today I'm going to be presenting about Celcom Digi Berhad. First introduction for Celcom Digi Berhad. Malaysia is a home telecommunications business. Celcom Digi Berhad in 2020, it was created from the merger of Digi.com Berhad and Celcom Axiata Berhad, two of the top telecommunication firms in Malaysia. The goal of the merger was to produce a more competitive, larger, and more capable participant in the Malaysian telecom market. For consumer and business in Malaysia, Celcom Digi Berhad provides a variety of telecommunication services such as broadband, data, and mobile voice service. Formation in 2019, Celcom Axiata Berhad and Digi.com Berhad announced their merger, which was finalized in 2020. Next up, in MFRS 116, Celcom Digi Berhad Recognition of lease liabilities. Leases must record a lease liability under MFRS 116, which represents their commitment to make lease payment during the lease term on its balance sheet. Celcom Digi Berhad would record lease obligation for lease to satisfy the standards recognition requirement. Recognition and right of use assets. Leases must record their rights to use the underlying lease assets during the lease terms of right of use. Assets in addition to their lease obligation at the start of the lease. Celcom Digi Berhad would record ROU assets on its balance sheet. Next is the measurement. The initial measurement of ROU assets and lease obligation is the present value of the lease payment. They are then calculated on a straight line basis for operating leases or by applying the effective interest technique or financial leases. And lastly, presentation and disclosure. On the balance sheet, lease obligation and ROU assets ought to be shown apart from the other assets and liabilities. MFRS 116 requires extensive disclosure about leasing activities, including the nature of lease arrangement, the amount of lease liabilities, and ROU assets recognized, lease expenses recognized in the income statement, and other relevant information. Lastly, under MFRS 140 for Celcom Digi Berhad recognition, but it's likely the entity will receive future economic advantage from the property and the cost of the property can be accurately determined. Investment property should be recorded as assets. The measurement. Investment property are usually valued at fair value after first recognition. The price that will be obtained at the measurement date in an orderly transaction between market participants to transfer an obligation or sell an asset is reflected in fair value. And lastly, the presentation and disclosure. Unlike other kinds of property, plant and equipment, or other assets, investment properties are shown as different line items on the balance sheet. Financial statement must include true disclosure regarding investment properties in accordance with MFRS 140. This contains details regarding the methodologies and key assumptions used to calculate at the fair value of investment properties, as well as any limitation on their realizability.
Now, I would like to talk about Maxis Berhad. One of Malaysia's top provider of telecom service is Maxis Berhad, founded in 1933 as a joint venture between South Africa, SA and a Malaysian billionaire, Ananda Krishnan Binaring. Later in 1996, the business changed its name to Maxis Telecommunication Berhad, and finally it became Maxis Berhad. Maxis provides a wide range of telecommunication service, including mobile and fixed line voice service, mobile data, wireless and fixed broadband internet, as well as enterprise solution for business. It caters to both individual consumer and corporate clients. Maxis is proud of its vast network infrastructure, which include a mobile network that reach both urban and rural areas of Malaysia. The business has made significant investment in its network to give its client dependable connectivity and high-speed data service. Recognition for Maxis Berhad in the case of lease that satisfies the requirements. Recognition under MFRS 116, Maxis will record leasability on its business balance sheets. The present value of remaining lease payment over the lease term is represented by these lease liabilities. Maxis balance sheet would include ROU, asset in addition to lease liabilities. Throughout the lease term, this asset stands for the right to utilize the underlying lease asset, such as equipment, for 5 years. Measurement. The initial measurement of ROU assets and lease obligation is the present value of the lease payment when the condition of the lease or the payments associated with it alter, they are subsequently remeasured. And the last one is presentation and disclosure. For Maxis, in compliance with MFRS 116, Maxis would show ROU asset and lease liabilities apart from other assets and liabilities on its balance sheet. Financial statements must include detailed disclosure on leasing activities in accordance with MFRS 116, the type of lease agreement, the quantity of recognized lease liabilities, and ROU asset. The recognition of lease expenses in the income statement and other pertinent lease-related data will all need to be disclosed by Maxis. For the MFRS 114, when it's likely that the entity will receive the future economic benefit connected with an investment property and the cost of property can be accurately determined. The property should be recorded as an asset. For the measurement, investment properties are usually valued at fair value after first recognition. The price that will be obtained at the measurement date in an orderly transaction between market participants to transfer an obligation or sell an asset is reflected in fair value. Presentation and disclosure, unlike other kind of property, plant and equipment or other asset investment properties are shown as different line item on the balance sheet. Financial statement must include true disclosure regarding investment property in the recording with MFRS 114. It contains detail regarding the methodologies and key substances used to calculate the fair value of investment properties as well as limitation on their releasability.